Top stories: Ethiopia organizes Horn of Africa diplomatic training. And Agriculture Ministry says nation has covered 7 million hectares of land with seeds. Hello and welcome to ABC World with the news. I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has expressed his condolences to the government and people of Nigeria, as well as to the family of former President Muhammadu Buhari, following the former leader's passing at the age of 82. In a message posted on his official social media account, the Prime Minister stated, quote unquote, "On behalf of the government and people of Ethiopia, I extend sincere condolences to the family of former President Muhammadu Buhari and to the people and government of Nigeria. Our thoughts are with you during this time of mourning." Buhari died on Sunday in a London clinic after a prolonged illness. His passing has drawn tributes from leaders across Africa and around the world, reflecting on his role as a central figure in Nigeria's modern history. He first rose to power in 1983 as a military head of state following a coup, and later returned to office through the ballot box, serving as a democratically elected president from 2015 to 2023. Buhari was widely regarded as a symbol of Nigeria's fight against entrenched corruption, campaigning on promises to reform institutions and restore national security. The chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, has learned with profound sorrow of the passing of Muhammadu Buhari, former president of Nigeria, who died on Sunday at the age of 82. On behalf of the African Union Commission and the wider African Union family, the chairperson conveys his deepest condolences to the government and people of Nigeria and to the bereaved family of the late President Buhari during this period of national mourning and collective grief. President Buhari will be remembered as a principled and resolute leader who served Nigeria with honor and conviction. Throughout his tenure, he remained a committed Pan-Africanist, an advocate for national integration, good governance, and African-led solutions to the continent's pressing challenges. He was a steadfast supporter of multilateral cooperation and a tireless champion of peace and stability across Africa, the chairperson stated. The chairperson pays tribute to the life and enduring legacy of this distinguished statesman and salutes his contribution to the advancement of Africa's development, unity, and voice on the global stage. The Institute of Foreign Affairs in Addis Ababa is bringing together diplomats from Nile Basin and neighboring countries for a strategic training program focused on Pan-African cooperation, regional unity, and shared development. Professor Buruk Hailu Besha, a seasoned Ethiopian diplomat and academic, underscored Ethiopia's commitment to peaceful resource utilization, regional integration, and the strengthening of African solidarity. The training is set crucial to enhancing regional cooperation, addressing cross-border security threats, and fostering collective prosperity. Goshu Melissa reports.
The Institute of Foreign Affairs is providing an intensive training session in Addis Ababa for diplomats from neighboring and Nile Basin countries. Adam Tasfaye, Chief of Staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, remarked that the training is timely and marks a crucial step in strengthening collective diplomacy and advancing the region's common aspirations.
Our region is taking many important steps to tackle these daunting challenges, and yet we still have to take many additional steps commensurate with the challenges facing us today and many others that may come. This training program should be taken as one of those important steps that put our collective wisdom and dedication to resolve problems and pave the way to achieve our shared goals and dreams.
The lead trainer from the Institute of Foreign Affairs, Professor Brukailu, said the objective is to expand diplomatic cooperation, strengthen Pan-Africanism, and promote Ethiopia's vision for peaceful development. He stressed the importance of collaboration on various regional issues to achieve greater collective progress, particularly in power connectivity and any other regional matter. Regarding the Nile water, he said Ethiopia has no intention to cause harm, but rather aims to use its share peacefully under its sovereign rights, generate electricity and contribute to regional development.
Nile has 11 states, riparian states, the Blue Nile and the White Nile. And it so happened that these diplomats come from that key countries, and we feel we need to work together on such a good resource like hydropower, how we can use it, this God-given as well as nature-given resource for the benefit of our peoples. Ethiopia believes there is enough water for all. Ethiopia believes there is enough hydropower for all. What Ethiopia wants is not to contain the water and harm certain country or countries, downstream countries, but to use it under its sovereign rights, utilize it to generate electricity and change the people's lives, as well as even provide electricity based on commercial model to our neighboring countries.
Diplomats from countries including Uganda, Rwanda, Sudan, Tanzania, Malawi, Somalia and DRC are participating. The sessions also explored geopolitical realities, including access to the sea for landlocked countries. Brok emphasized that international maritime laws guarantee landlocked countries' right to access seaports and commended regional cooperation efforts.
By the law of the seas, each and every landlocked country have the right to have access to the sea, and nobody can stop that. And that's what Ethiopia is asking for. And Ethiopia, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Malawi is landlocked again, and even Zimbabwe is landlocked. But guess what? Mozambique has provided key ports like Beira, like Maputo, for the Zimbabwean people and government. The same thing for up north for the Malian brothers and government as well. So I think common sense, Africanness, brotherhood. One needs to focus on Pan-Africanism, the spirit of working together and achieving something. That is the issue, by the way, we are talking about, and using the spirit of unity and Pan-Africanism, landlocked countries can have access to the sea. And I think it's workable, it's doable.
The 3-day training is part of Ethiopia's broader diplomatic push to reassert its leadership in regional integration, peace and mutual development.
Agriculture Minister Girma Amantea revealed that 7 million hectares of land has been covered with seeds thus far in this rainy season. The Agriculture Minister told the Ethiopian news agency that efforts are underway to realize the country's food sovereignty vision. Girma said that the agricultural sector has achieved remarkable results in the previous years of harvesting seasons in summer, spring and irrigation development schemes. The minister stated that a better harvest is anticipated this year as a result of the adoption of modern technologies and efforts to raise awareness among farmers. Listen to him.
እስካሁን ወደ 7 ሚሊዮን ሄክታር መሬት በዘር ተሸፍኗል.
7 million hectares of land has been covered with seeds so far. Some hectares of the land have already been covered with cereal seeds such as maize and the likes. The remaining hectares of land are being sown with teff, wheat, barley and others in accordance with the local ecology of the country. A better harvest is expected this year due to the use of modern technologies and awareness-raising activities carried out among farmers. Fertilizers, select seeds and various inputs that can increase agricultural production and productivity have been delivered to farmers on time.
መኸር ስራችን ከየትኛውም ጊዜ በተሻለ የተሳካ ጊዜ እንደሚሆን እምነቴ ነው ማለት ነው።
Some 21 million hectares of land across the country will be covered with various crops in this sowing season of the nation, the minister said. Minister Girma also noted that a target is set to harvest over 659 million quintals of crops by covering 21 million hectares of land with seeds in this season.
ለኢትዮጵያ 70% የግብርና ምርት የምናገኝበት ወቅት ነው።
Summer is the biggest cultivation season for Ethiopia, as 70% of the total harvests of the year are cultivated during this season. Some 21 million hectares of land across the country will be covered with various crops in this sowing season of the nation. 13 million hectares of land will be cultivated under cluster farming this summer, marking an increase compared to the same period last year. 6 million hectares of land have been cultivated through mechanized farming, an increase by 1 million hectares of land from the same period last year. In modernizing agriculture and increasing production and productivity, the major breakthrough is that farmers' use of technology has been widely growing.
ኩታ ገጠም ባለፈው አመት 11.8 ነበረ ዘንድሮ 13 ሚሊዮን ይደርሳል።
In Ethiopia, a groundbreaking digital identity program is rapidly reshaping access to essential services across the nation. FIDA, the country's national ID program, has now registered over 19 million residents, marking a major milestone in legal and social inclusion. Gabriela Abraham, legal and policy director of the national ID program, says the momentum behind FIDA is driven by its nationwide accessibility. Jerusalem Betha has more from the Ethiopian news agency.
FIDA is designed to provide all residents of Ethiopia with a secure digital ID with a fully unique identifier to enable seamless access to essential service. Ethiopia's national ID program, FIDA, is rapidly transforming the landscape of identity and access to service, with 19.1 million residents registered as of 10 July 2025, according to Gabriela Abraham, legal and policy director at the national ID program.
We have registration centers across all over Ethiopia. We have registration partners currently working on FIDA registration, mainly the Ethio Telecom, Ethio Post are our registration partners who have registration centers across the country. So our current status is 19.1 million.
This indigenous approach minimizes the need for new infrastructure, making registration convenient and accessible to diverse populations, regardless of their proximity to major urban centers. At the heart of FIDA's design is its profound commitment to legal and social inclusion, she said, citing the Ethiopian Digital Identification Proclamation 1284 as a testament to this principle.
FIDA is a very inclusive system. From the outset, we made a deliberate policy choice in terms of making sure that FIDA is accessible to all residents in Ethiopia. The legal framework governing the FIDA ID implementation in Ethiopia is the Ethiopian Digital Identification Proclamation 1284. Under this proclamation, it's provided that residents in Ethiopia are eligible to have FIDA ID. This would mean that it's not only citizens who are entitled to have access to FIDA ID, but also legal residents, including refugees, expats, diplomats, people working in this country in a legal manner with work permit. This enables us to ensure that FIDA is an inclusive system for people who are residing in this country, including refugees who came to this country in an unfortunate situation.
Gabriela stressed that FIDA is not just a concept, but a tangible reality for communities in every corner of Ethiopia.
We've made a deliberate, strategic choice to try and ensure that our registration centers are accessible to people all over the country. We've leveraged existing resources of shops, offices, centers of Ethio Telecom and Ethio Post, as well as other government entities, including regional offices of revenue bureaus in the region. And so this enables us to make sure that people have physical access to registration centers. In addition, we have integrated with more than 55 institutions in the country, public and private institutions, aimed at making sure that people with just their FIDA number have access to financial services, including opening bank accounts, conducting transactions in these spaces.
In sectors requiring digital ID, FIDA simplifies process, reducing bureaucracy and boosting efficiency, service students and professionals alike, ensuring widespread physical registration access and practical service use, Gabriela explained.
And finally, in sports, Ethiopia's national athletic